So the company TELESIN has kindly sent me out some more items to review and test. So first of all, on the left here, we've got the TELESIN Quick Release Beauty Mini Fill Light. And then on the right here, we've got the TELESIN Camera Grip Holder Set. Now both of these camera accessories are going to be compatible with the DJI Osmo 3, 4 and 5 Pro. So first of all, let's unbox the Quick Release Beauty Mini Fill Light. I've got the Action 5 Pro with me, so we'll see how it mounts to that. So straight away on the right here, we've got the instructions manual. So this is just going to show you how to mount it and charge it and everything, and some more little details in there. And then you get a charging cable. Now this is via USB-C. And then finally on the left, we've got the actual light here. So let's take a closer look at it. So as you can see, it's very small and compact. So just on the top here, we've got the charging port. That just pops off there for the USB-C. So it's got the rubber protector on the charging port there because it's got a IPX5 waterproof rating. And then just underneath that, you'll see some cutouts, and that's for a lanyard. And then if we just have a look on top there, so you'll just press and hold the light there for 2 seconds to activate the light. And then the M is to just toggle through the different lighting colours, which I'll show you in a minute. And then just on the side here, this is where we're going to be able to mount it to the Action 3, 4 and 5, and it's also magnetic. And then on the back of the light, that's also magnetic. And now I've got the Action 5 Pro just to show you how to mount the light. Just underneath the Action 5 Pro, that's magnetic. And we also know that this is magnetic, so that's just going to snap into position there. So that's going to be in a great position underneath, but you won't be able to mount the selfie pole, so that'll be great to just have it in your hand like this if you're vlogging at night. And then it's just the 2 toggles at the side for the quick release to dismount it. And now I'm going to put the Action 5 Pro in its case, and then I'm going to show you how to mount the light when it's in its case. So now the Action 5 Pro is in its case, as you've just seen, we can mount it underneath, but then you won't be able to have your selfie stick. So it's magnetic on the side also, so that's just going to snap straight on the side there. And then when you've got your selfie pole underneath, you'll also have that light in a different position. So this mini fill light is going to take 1 hour 30 minutes to fully charge, and then it can last up to 11 hours. So that's pretty outstanding, to be fair, for battery life. So now let's power the mini fill light on, see how bright it can go, and see what colours we can get there. Here we go. So there's 5 different lighting stages, and this is on the lowest one. That's the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and finally the 5th. And I'm not looking at that because that's way too bright. So that's in the lowest setting. And as you can see there, you can get to the increments right through to the 5th one, which is super bright. So now when we press the M button there, that's just going to toggle for the different lighting colours. We'll press it once, that's like a SOS Morse code. As you can see, that's going to be flashing a while. We'll press it again, that gives you more of a subtle tone. Once again, that's a different shade of white. And then we're back to the normal one. Now these more softer colours are for the beauty side of things. Obviously I'm not going to be using it. All I'm going to be using is the ultra bright white light there. These are more for the women to be doing the makeup. And then once again, when you've selected the colour you want, you'll just be able to press the light to the side to toggle through the brightness of that colour you've selected. And then when you finish using your light, we'll just press and hold the light button there for 2 seconds, and then it powers down. And like I showed you earlier, we've got the quick release toggles and just pop straight off the magnetic clip there. Right, so now it's time to unbox the TELESIN Camera Grip Holder Set, and as I said earlier, this is compatible for the Action 3, 4 and 5. So now let's take it out of the box and see what you get. Right, so that's everything out of the box. So on the right here, we've got the camera cage, and just next to that, we've got the camera handle, and just next to that, we've got the cold shoe mount with the cold shoe button. And then last of all here on the left, we've got the lanyard. So first of all, let's just take a closer look at this handle, because just inside we've got a magnetic wrench, as you can see there. And we're going to need to be taking this out because we're going to need to be tightening it up on the Action 5 Pro real soon. So now I know where that is, I'll just pop it back in. And that's magnetised. So let's take a closer look at this cage. So you'll be able to mount it with a 1/4 inch screw there. And once again, it's magnetised with the quick release clip there. You'll be able to do the same on the bottom when the Action 5 Pro's in. And then just on top, we've got room for a cold shoe there. So that's going to be great for any light accessories or microphone. And then just next to that, we've got the red shutter button. Now we'll be able to see all this come to light when the Action 5 Pro's in later on. If you just see on top, we've got that toggle. We'll just push down on that. That releases the clip. And then the Action 5 Pro is only going to fit in one way. So when the latch is down there, make sure the camera lens is going to go straight in there. It slides in nice and easy and clips into position. So now the camera is securely in the case there, it's time to fit the handle. And we're going to need that magnetic wrench, because that's going to fit straight into the 1/4 inch thread mount on the cage. So we need to line both 1/4 inch threads up here. That's just going to pop straight in there. And then we'll use that magnetic wrench just to tighten it up there. So now that's attached with the wrench. That really is on there nice and secure, and that's going absolutely nowhere. And it's made it feel more like a handheld camera than an action camera. And now it's time to mount the cold shoe mount just on top there. So here's the cold shoe mount with the cold shoe button there in red. And that's just going to slide straight over the cold shoe there. But just keep in mind it's only going to go one way. So once this is on, this is the shutter button now. As you can see just underneath. That activates really rapidly. And now as you can see, it's turned the Action 5 Pro into what looks to be a rather large camera. And I've got rather large hands, and that fits really snugly into my hand there. And now as you can see, I've got the shutter button just up here. And when I press the shutter button on top of the cold shoe there, as you can see, where my finger's pointing, that's really responsive. And now it's made it a lot more easy to press the shutter button when you're taking any photos with the Action 3, 4 or 5. And now your hand's not going to be in the way of the lens at all. So I can see that TELESIN spent a lot of time designing this. I'll take my hat off to them because this really does feel well made and sturdy. And as you can see, we're not restricted with any buttons. We can turn it on and off. We can still get to the power port there. And then we can also access the battery. But to do this, we're just going to have to slide the cold shoe mount off. And then we can still access the battery port. And then that just snaps straight on top on the cold shoe again. So I'm really pleased how TELESIN's thought of all these things going forward when they're designing this. And now I'm going to show you how to attach the lanyard. So just in the top right, just where your hand's going to be, that's where we're just going to slide the lanyard into. So now you can see that's nice and secure on the lanyard. So that's double protection when you're out there taking photos. And then on top we've got that other cold shoe mount, and that's going to be great if you've got any more lighting accessories or wireless microphones. And then if you want to mount that mini fill light, what we've looked at, there'll only be two places you'll be able to mount this. That's one underneath where it's magnetic, and that won't really matter because you're not going to be using a selfie pole because you're going to be using that in the street grip. So that's going to light it up nicely for you. So that's really handy, it can connect underneath. And then the other place you'll be able to mount it is if you've got a cold shoe mount, which is going to be adaptable on there, you'll be able to slide it on there also. So if you're interested in buying either the street grip or the TELESIN fill light, I'll be leaving a link in the description for each one of those items, and there you'll be able to receive 10% off when you enter the coupon code. So as always, do stay tuned to the channel as there's going to be plenty more videos on the horizon, especially with testing out the newly released DJI Osmo Action 6, which I'm going to be getting in a few days. So for now, thanks for watching, be sure to hit that like and subscribe button, and bye for now.